All right, good morning, good afternoon. Alicia Mayo of Clari-T Media, CEO and founder, executive producer, writer, journalist, educator, mama, yaya, and hopefully a permanent resident here in Negril, Jamaica very soon. You can hear the roosters in the background and my fan. It's really, really warm. Oh, a few birds. A few birds out. A few mosquitoes. And so that's why you see the smoke rising. And I'm also regulating my nervous system. That's today's subject. You hear a lot of people talk about regulating their nervous systems and trying to be in their best possible health, considering what's going on around us, all the crazy people in the world making crazy moves for or against people who look like you and me. Then you've got the government, you've got neighbors, you've got family, you've got so-called friends, colleagues that you have to deal with. You know, we're all out here trying to survive. And again, my name is Alicia Mayo. I'm the CEO and founder of Clari-T Media, and I spell Clarity without the Y because my director of photography thought that it would be a clever way for me to represent who I am as a founder. I am a broadcast engineer. I'm a very technical person, a tech-centered broadcaster because, quality of presentation, quality of video and audio and aesthetics and all of those technical things that make up a delivery, a show, a presentation. I'm into all of those technical parts, the delivery, the intonation, the speech, the writing style, the approach, the aesthetics. Yes, the research, the facts. And I'm about, human stories and humans being able to tell their stories and include all of their truth, whether it's, something we can digest or not. And then, if we can't handle the truth, which is the case most of the time, if we can't handle the truth, then how can we soothe each other? How can we comfort each other when we are uncomfortable with each other? I call BS. I was going to say it. I call BS on that. Comforting each other. But sometimes comforting each other is important. God. What a terrible, terrible the confusion of it all. The confusion of being human, the complexity of it all. Sometimes it's just so daunting. For little old me, there are trees bigger than me. Give some of those big problems to the trees. I guess that's why some of us choose to hug a tree, to let go of our issues, to try and find comfort in nature and something outside of our our fleshy selves. So, hello everybody out there listening. Thank you so much for stopping by Clari-T Media, stopping by my page, my profile. Your Facebook friend is here, Alicia Mayo. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. Make sure that you give me a like here on the video. And then when I go over to YouTube, if you decide to join me there for an extended version of this conversation, please make sure that you subscribe. Hit the subscription button. I've gained 10 new subscribers this week. That's excellent because I'm just, let me see. I'm about 200 subscribers away from monetizing on YouTube. And once I monetize on YouTube and here on Facebook, things change. The conversations change, the intensity, the participation, the interactions, and that's what we need. We need more family. We need more folks joining in on the conversations. We need more participation. We've got a lot of important things to talk about, a lot of important subjects to cover, in my opinion. And at my age, I don't waste time on Facebook, social media, YouTube. I could be staring at the water or the birds or, my land. I don't have time to waste. And so when I do come on live like this, it's because it's really important to me. And I'm hoping that it's important to you too, the subject matter. So let's get on with it. I just want to, say thank you to all of you for tuning in and, participating in the conversations, making yourself present. You don't have to do it. I appreciate you all. And my way of giving back to all of you is by being here to participate in life on social media. Because a lot of us, cannot connect physically. And so we do it this way. And it's okay. It's okay. For those of you who don't agree, move on. Go to the next profile. But I will be sharing this because I really think that if we don't pay attention to our behavioral and our mental health in conjunction as one, we're not doing our best as human beings. We're not being responsible. We are not, in fact, contributing like we think we are. So many of us run around here with these titles and all of this air and pomp and circumstance and think we're so important. And we can't do something as simple as acknowledge another person's feelings before we speak. So check yourself. Check yourself. Check yourself. Be responsible for yourself. That's what today's subject is all about, in a way, sort of. I'm trying to get to something. So follow me. I'm going to connect the dots. I have been communicating with my friends, and not just friends here on Facebook, but friends, generally speaking. My relationships are important. I don't know about how you feel. I'm telling you, my relationships are important. A lot of us want to act like our relationships are not that important, that we are more important than our relationships. Are we really? Yes. We cannot have relationships without us, ourselves first. But we cannot be our whole human selves without others and the relationships with others. You got to drink your water too. And sometimes mind your business. Okay. So, just to be fair to everyone, if this conversation on mental health is not for you, if you're not into facing your realities, you should move on to the next profile, because this conversation, in fact, is about mental health and behavioral health in a way, sort of, okay? And I'm going to include some statistics if that's what you need, but I like working from my spirit. I like working from my head. I like working from, or my brain, my head, my heart, my short-term memory, my long-term memory, whatever, wherever. That's who I am. That's who I'll always be. I'm not apologizing for who I am and how I move or say or think, speak. I am who I am, and I love who I am. Take me or leave me. So the subject is mental health. And a couple of areas regarding mental health that's a lot of my friends are talking about lately include, and I'm taking notes as I speak with you in my reparations journal, my San Francisco reparations journal, because I do want my reparations, and my words are important. And when I say I want reparations, that's what I mean. You see where I'm going. If you have nothing to do, this is the perfect place for you. If you're on a time, if you have time limits, then, maybe this live is not for you. You can replay it later, because I'm going to go on and I'm going to purge, as a friend of mine just talked about. We're going to reset quickly. We're going to address the nervous system and, what regulating your nervous system means to some people, what it means to me. We're going to talk about it and try and understand it. And if you don't know, how to tap into your nervous system, just take this journey with me, because I've never really known myself. So let's learn together. I'm going to use Google, and then I'm going to use my own intuition, and my own center, my own brain, and my own ideas based on who I am, where I've come from, and what I believe today. All right, so a girlfriend of mine really has been doing a good job online with addressing our personal and professional life balance attempts. And, for her, it's about regulating her nervous system. I hear a lot of people talk about regulating their nervous system, how to do it, what it means, and all of that. And so, to me, when I think about that, I just think about whether or not something makes me feel good or bad. If it makes me nervous or not. My nervous system. How does my nervous system feel in different environments, around different people? What did I just do? I think I just lost my Google pages. Oh, no, I didn't. Let's see. I'll go back here. Okay. So, back to the nervous system. About the nervous system, some people right now want to move away from the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight nervous system, The fight or flight nervous system, to me, when I think about fighting or flight or running away, standing up to something or running away from something, I automatically think about fear. And, and we, in the church, black folks like to say, God didn't create us with fear. But I don't know if that's true or not, because I do feel fear, and I'm not afraid to say that I experience fear. Hell yeah, I experience fear. I don't know, how often and how long it lasts when I experience it, but I experience it, to different degrees. This is a repellent. Keep the mosquitoes away. They've been notorious. I'm afraid of mosquitoes because when they bite, they leave germs or disease. And being here in Jamaica, where there are lots of mosquitoes, gosh, they want to suck your blood. Anyway, you got to find ways to repel and keep them away. Literally. Okay, so moving away from that fight or flight and achieving and activating, some rest and digest, or rest and reset, requires consistent and intentional efforts on your part. You gotta practice being, fearless. You have to practice being fearless. Let's start there with fear, just fear. I'm gonna write this down so that I don't go over this again the next time. So the first area we'll talk about is fear. Yes, my fear. I was afraid to move to Jamaica. But there was so much going on in the United States that was frustrating me, that was messing up my nervous system, that was affecting my health to the point where my stomach was bleeding. I was really in trouble. So I had to regulate my nervous system. It was life or death. It wasn't fight or flight for me. It was life or death. My nervous system was out of whack. It was out of whack. I couldn't even breathe. I couldn't even breathe. I could not even breathe. I was stressed all of the time. My stomach was always in a knot. I was always crying. I was overweight. Yes, this is my normal weight. I am at about 115, maybe 116 pounds. This is my normal weight. When I was 130, 140 pounds, 145 pounds in the United States, that was padding. That was all padding. Pillows all around me, trying to comfort and cushion make myself comfortable in that environment. It was the environment. And I changed my environments over and over. I changed the environment. I got a divorce. I started sharing custody with my ex-husband, with our son, so that I could have some time alone and time with my children, so I could continue to be a mom and myself at the same time. It was frightening. It was scary. All of the things that I went through to get here to Jamaica. All in the efforts and all in the attempts to regulate my nervous system, because I could not breathe. I could not continue with that quality of life. The mean girls, oh my gosh. The mean men, the mean boys. I could see children, and I worked in the schools. I worked as a special education behavioral tech, and working in the schools with preschoolers, all the way up to high schoolers, revealed so much about humanity and the direction that we're going in. Because I could see children, little babies, and high schoolers behaving the same, doing the same, repeating what the other person does, doing what they see others do. And for example, right now, the amount of domestic violence that's happening here in Jamaica is all copycat. It's all conditioning, and it's all over the media. It's like somehow or another we are all being programmed to behave all together. We move in packs, right? We move in packs. And people who own and operate large platforms where messages can be sent will do it. Believe you me, the meanness is at an all-time high with babies. The meanness and the rudeness and the inconsideration and the disrespect and the hate, it's at an all-time high. So, the percentages of the people in the newsroom who can produce horrible content that repeats domestic violence towards women over and over and over again, that will do it. And the outcomes will be terrible. If we cannot control our minds, if we are so gullible to believe it and repeat it and to then act it out. Okay? So our mental health is driven by what is happening around us. Our environments condition us to believe and to act and to behave. It is all tied together. It is all related. And we are all subjected to it. It is fight or flight for us when we want to survive as loving, kind, considerate, collaborative, collective human beings, the way that God made us. Most of us. Some of us don't have it. Some of us have not been built in the way that produces love. So we have what we have the society that we have, and we have to survive. And it can drive you crazy. It can drive you mad, like they say here in Jamaica. You mad? Well, hell yeah, I'm mad. Maybe not in the literal crazy, that kind of a mad, but it can make you mad. The world can make you mad. And the rates of mental illness here in Jamaica are high. The rates of mental illness in the world, in the United States, are high. No doubt about it. We are all human. We all want to be loved. We all want to love. We want harmony. We want love. What kind of love? We want any kind of love we can get, right? I know I do. I love love, right? Like Love More says, we want to be loved. And the supernova kind of love, with the double O love. Love, as in love more. Shout out, brother, love more. Shout out. He's out of Oakland. He's about faith and family and building a lovely and harmonious community as well, like me. So give me some thumbs up if that's what you're about. If you're about creating a loving, a harmonious community. Give me some thumbs up. Give me some words. I see you. Lamont, Monty Dupree. Lamont, Monty Dupree. Another loving, harmonious, faithful, family-centered man trying to purge and reset and build on love. And I appreciate you, Lamont. I really do. Dion, hi, sweetie pie, sister. Hi, lovely sister. Complex sister. Strong, willing sister, Dion. Oh gosh, I love you. I saw you the other day. Let's get together soon. It's Thursday. Let's do something. Okrita, my sister love, my sister love. Okrita, you traveled here to Jamaica to embrace our sisterhood and to embrace this beautiful island. And I appreciate you and love you so much. I'm sitting here on my veranda just chilling, trying to stay cool, trying to stay calm, trying to keep my nervous system under control. That's the subject for today, the nervous system. And you know how people say, you know, I'm trying to regulate my nervous system. What do they mean by that? I'm also talking about, you know, purging and resetting and trying to get to a nice calm place at my age. And I'm hoping that by me just going on with this long conversation with you about all of this at my age, hopefully this can trigger some things for you in a good way. It can, you know, help you center your thoughts. And who's this pulling up? We'll see. Hopefully I can get your juices flowing, get your mental juices flowing. Your behavior is determined and led by the environment and what's happening around you. Okay? Make sure that you recognize and realize that your behavior is driven and affected by the environment. Your environment really matters. Please position yourselves in places where you need to be at the right time. Create harmony in your environment. If you cannot be where you want to be, like when I have, you know, car horns honking and people talking loud and, you know, things like that. You know, when the environment is not perfect, create the environment. I like to turn on my music. I like to turn up my music so that it drowns out the sounds outside of my music, right? Create my own bubble if I need to. If you're at the workplace, if you're at home, so that you can recenter, create some harmony, get aligned with yourself. No, it's not being selfish. Take care of yourself. Drink your water. It literally feels good going down my chest, okay? So hello, Lamont. Hello, Willard. Hello, Okrita. Hello, Dion. Let's see who else is here. All right, that's it. An intimate group for an intimate conversation. I think that's fitting. So thank you for joining me. I want to send my love to all of you. Thanks for joining me here. Today, I'm just talking about, you know, Mental Health Awareness Month. Should be every month, not just in May. I'm celebrating my grandfather's birthday. He would have been 94. He was with me for 53 years of his 93 years, I'm sorry. He is still living. He is very much living. But that Taurus man taught me so much about love and so much about honoring relationships and friendships. My grandfather had a friendship with a 30-something Mexican man who was in the United States illegally, but who was working hard every single day on a job for his wife and daughter. My grandfather watched that man work so hard. Young man. He worked so hard, and his wife worked, and his daughter was so sweet, and yeah, they were here illegally, and he trusted my grandfather, and he told my grandfather that my grandfather was like a father for him, and I listened to their conversations. His name was Juan, and I listened to Juan and my grandpa talk about just, so many things like family and relationships and faith and love and fear and hardships and growth and how to survive in this world. And it is confusing for all of us most of the time, whether we want to admit it or not. All right, so I think we do a really good job getting around the confusion. By creating cocoons, by creating lifestyles, by creating, environments, by creating families, relationships, friendships, and all, right? We curate our Facebook friends list. We accept invitations to parties by some and not from others. So we can create, harmony. We can create love. We can create all of the good stuff. But we also create the bullshit, the bad stuff. Excuse my language. And sometimes we need some of that other stuff to really compare and contrast and make our lives interesting. Beware. Beware, because when we're doing that, we're creating chaos. Sometimes we're creating conflict. And I see that happening all over. It's happening here in Jamaica. It's happening in the United States, in politics, in families. Gosh, my own family, fighting over property, fighting over homes, instead of figuring out ways to create a family office and a family trust and a family base. Because God knows we need our families more than ever. How are we even existing without some kind of family structure? And yes, Lamont, you are right about that. You are right about that. I've been taking a lot of notes. I've been listening to my friends. I've been really thinking about what's happening around me. And it is intense. It is so deep. It's so confusing, but it's so enlightening at the same time. It's so elevating. Because I know what side I want to be on. I know which lane I'll take. I have no fear. I have no fear of others and humans. I have no fear of, natural disasters or a hurricane. I have no fear of falling off of my scooter when I myself have gotten on my scooter and then put a helmet on. Go figure. Fear? I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm getting myself into when I'm dating someone with a bad temper, who has a family that fights, raised in an environment where there's lots of fighting. This place, it's thumbs down, but it's here. A lot of fighting in Jamaican families. Why? Why? Because of the pathology, the history, the conditioning. There's not much harmony in a world where you're starving. There is no love when you are afraid of someone, master, some prime minister, some president. Not just here in Jamaica, in the U.S., everywhere. So my goal, a friend of mine asked me, what are your goals, Alicia? What are you trying to do? I understand that it took some bravery to move to Jamaica. And you had to be fearless. You had to accept the responsibility of whatever the consequences or the outcomes are for moving here. Yeah, I was ready. I was really, 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 really ready because to me, for everything that I've gone through in the U.S., everything that I have seen around the world, from the U.S., when I haven't traveled much out of the U.S. Before Jamaica, it was Mexico, it was the Caribbean, other places in the Caribbean. But those trips weren't trips about me. They were, just, a cruise that was popular or my boyfriend wanted me to go, This trip, though, I knew would be a permanent trip. One-way ticket, baby. A one-way ticket to my paradise. Because listen, I'm painting a picture for myself. And I'm an artist. And like my brother Malik Seneferu says, remain creative. Always remain creative. God gave you some skills. God gave you some knowledge, some intuition, some understanding, some beauty that you can create from who you are. Appreciate the lines. Appreciate the content of yourself. Appreciate who you are, please. Because who you are is a reflection of who others are. It's a reflection of God, the Almighty. My youngest son told me that. He's like, Mom, you know who God is, right? And I said, I think I do, son. Because he is, he's 20, going to be 22. Maybe he knows something I don't. But he said, yes, Mom, God is you. God is in you. God is you. You are God. You are God. Believe that. Know that what you are is divine, pure, and harmonious, and loving, and all of the wonderful things. Okay? And yes, we have to look at the flaws. That's what people call mental health. Generally, they just say, when people are having problems with themselves and with their spirits and all, they call it mental health or behavioral health. Well, it's whatever you want to call it. It is God. It is who we are. It is triggered and affected by the environment. It's who we are. But it is very sensitive, very soft, spongy, like this coral, spongy, and able to absorb, like this coral. I collect corals and stones and stuff. And, there's some sand that just came out of this one. So pretty. Like a little spaceship. Beautiful. I have more stones, more sea sponges and coral. And anyway, 100% whole. We are God, who we wake up as every morning, and what we do with our lives is really critical. We can create more than we know. We have the power to do more than we practice. I want us to get into practicing it, behaving daily, like we have control over what happens, because we absolutely do. Hold on a second. Let me take a quick break. I got to go grab a bud so I can grind my bud and sit here and talk a little bit more with you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here on my veranda with my reparations journal. And you should be journaling too. You should definitely be journaling. Journaling helps clarify, and it helps us to remember. It helps us to recognize and reflect. Reflecting is so good. When I think of reflection, I think of Sankofa and remembering who we once were and understanding who we are today. That is what I think of when I think of Sankofa. Got some good natural herb from a local farmer up the lane. He lives right up the lane, and he's a wonderful man. This stuff is not sprayed with pesticides or anything like that. Oh, there's a crazy looking little fat lizard on my veranda. I do partake because it helps me regulate my nervous system to a degree. It helps me with my anxiety when I get around, weird people and they make me anxious and I want to curse them out or tell them off or shut them down or do something, do something rash. This helps. Marijuana also helps me, and this is something I'll admit for the first time, and my fears. Marijuana helps keep me calm in social situations, because growing up and becoming an adult in social situations is still a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing when you got adults behaving like children. You've got adults acting like monsters, mean girls in a woman's body. Just awful, awful, awful behavior. And then some of these mean girls, and let me get on that subject because that's something that another friend of mine and I were talking about. So, yeah, mean girls. Mean girls. It's a thing. It's real. Mean girls. They're disgusting. They play on a person's fears, mean girls or anybody being mean, a psychopath, a person who looks for the weakness in others. That is a psychopath. Come on. Pathological, right? Intentionally searching for a wound to scratch up against, a Band-Aid to peel off, a bad memory to bring up again. Man, people can be so god doggone mean. And I'm a witness to it every day. It happens to me as a pretty woman, quote unquote, pretty woman, as a popular woman. People like to target me just for being pretty. People like to target me just for being popular. People like to target me just for being proud. People like to target me just for being honest. People like to target me for being a black woman. People like to target me for being opinionated. People want to hate and point the finger at and judge. And that's what mean girls are really good at. They're really, really, really good at being mean, doing mean things. And so as I see it, it just makes me angry. Makes me want to light one up. Not necessarily a bud. Makes me want to light up someone. Light them up, like make them combust. Laugh. Laugh, please laugh. Please laugh at that. Yeah, it makes me want to light somebody up, combust, just see them explode in flames. I know that's crazy. I know that's crazy, but listen. This world can make you crazy. If you're not in your right mind, if you have lost control, if you snap and lose control and do something you'll regret, don't do it. Don't do it. People will trigger you. Don't let them. Find a happy place. They say, go and hide out. Go find a quiet, like Billie Holiday sang about being in her solitude. In my solitude. I couldn't find the, in my solitude. Yeah, man, music helps me. Music helps me. When dealing with mean people, mean girls, mean-spirited people, gosh, I feel for my friends still experiencing that. But we set ourselves up for a lot of that. I hate to say it. We set ourselves up. We set ourselves up for it. Come on with the hearts. Come on with the hearts, man. That is a honest to God admission. We set ourselves up for failure. We set ourselves up for being rejected. I just set myself up for some rejection lately. Yeah. Yeah. But I knew it. I was having fun. I was having fun until I was rejected. I was having fun until I was rejected. I can admit that. Not too proud. All right, so let me not smoke on camera. I will roll on camera, but I won't smoke on camera. All right. So I was rejected, and it hurt, but I knew it was coming. So sometimes, I guess, we set ourselves up so that we can feel the rejection, so that we can snap back into where we need to be, right? Put ourselves back into place, put ourselves back together again, get back to who we are, get back to the reality. Only the reality changes every time we set ourselves up for some kind of rejection or, adversity. It makes us better people, so we say. Does it always make us better people or worse? I love simple things. I love simplicity. I love tranquil environments, tranquil moments. Tranquila was my nickname by Kenny's daughter, Jessica. Jessica used to call me Tranquila. I was dating my ex-boyfriend from high school during his divorce. I was also going through my divorce. And imagine us two together. Okay, so we used to date in high school, and then we got back together when we were going through our divorces. And, he was at his worst. I was at my worst, quote unquote, because we are divorcees. we're horrible, both horrible people, according to some. If we were going through a divorce, that makes us really horrible people. We were going through a divorce. Horrible people. So we get together, and what do? Like two, quote unquote, horrible people going through a divorce. How do we behave? Like the most well-behaved people in the world. We were practicing good behavior. We were trying to be at our best. We were practicing before we, let each other go to go out into the real world once again. We knew we weren't built to last. We found that out in high school. So when we got back together, we really got back together to just do a little caretaking. Yeah. This was back in like 2016. Yeah, and I appreciated the time because we really needed it. We really needed that time to reset, find some harmony, build our faith, connect with our family, our cliques, or whatever we built. Verbatim, I'm saying that verbatim. With less fear, more love, to feel more cherished and to cherish others. To outgrow the bad traits, to finally get clear about our own needs, our own wants, ourselves, to meet our nervous system with love, to breathe again, to find clarity. That's why we got together. That's why I got back together with my ex-boyfriend back in 2016 during his divorce and during mine. We desperately needed to get away from all that the world creates. The increasing negativity, the erasure of people, avoiding reality, avoiding hard conversations, avoiding each other's eyes, not even looking into each other's eyes. Pulling everything away, disconnecting, going into our self-made cocoons and staying there forever. Erasing any negativity is important. Okay? Because we have to get along with others. We have to have relationships. We have to build family, especially now when people are dividing and being so negative. We have to step up. We have to give more. We have to do more. We have to replace the bad with the good. We have to. It is the fight. This is the fight. This is the fight to create more love. It's a fight because, goddamn, am I always going to be pulled on? Are people always going to need me to give? The love, the positivity. I'm tired. Sometimes I want to just smack somebody. Sometimes I want to just be left alone. Sometimes I want my freedom, my rights. Sometimes I want justice. All the time. How about all the time? All of the time. So yeah, cocoons are important. Finding your place, hiding out, resetting. Those times are important, but please understand that should be a small fraction of your life. Cocooning away from others, not having the relationships that we need to have to survive, not being active in our lives, not forcing ourselves to participate. We must force ourselves to participate. We must force ourselves so that this world can work. It is us. It is our world. We are not squirrels in this world, just trying to get a nut. Mm-mm. You remember that saying, oh, I'm just a squirrel in your world trying to get a nut? That's so ridiculous, perverted, if you ask me. So, participate fully, get involved, go introduce yourself to your neighbors, sit down next to a stranger and have a good conversation, see them for who they are, keep your space, use proxemics, give them their space, don't be, rude. Let me see what the comments are talking about. Take my sunglasses off, put my reading glasses on, and check in with you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Please like this live and continue to comment. All right, Lamont. Thank you so much for watching. High fives on the recovery and continued journey. Thank you. Thank you so much for commenting. Let's see. Spiritual. Let's see. 2 new comments. Oh, hey, Ray. Roy. I'm sorry. Hi, Fee. Hi, Willard. Hi, Roy. Hi, Pat, Patricia, cousin. Hi, y'all. So I've been just decompressing, doing what I normally do here in Jamaica. Spend time reflecting, resetting, elevating, growing, trying to become 100% whole. Let's see. Spiritual warfare flowing through screens, frequencies, broadcasts, and algorithms. They all influence. Yeah, you're right. Influence is heavier than most people realize. Yeah, thank you for that comment, Lamont. You are so intuitive. I love conversations with Lamont because he is in touch with who he is and his experience and how it's affecting him. And when he talks about it, he does it in a very poetic, very realistic, very human way, which I love. I love his writing. You guys should go check out Lamont, Monty Dupree. I hope that's okay. Me sending some of my friends your way. But that's what building a family is all about. Right? That's what it's all about. I am getting hungry. I need a snack, but I also need to talk. I need this. This is food, spiritual food for me, this conversation. Okay, so thank you for the comments, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. It's Alicia Mayo, CEO and founder of Clari-T Media. Clari-T Media is all about human stories and grassroots solutions, sifting our way through life and then dealing with the conflicts, dealing with the confusion, dealing with the chaos in a way that allows us all to grow together. A big reason why I came to Jamaica is because I wanted to paint this picture first, a beautiful picture first. This picture, for me, my life's picture, it had to include the drama of Jamaica. It had to include, all of the lizards running around my feet. It had to include the crabs creeping up on me at night. Like last night, go and see my video on my timeline. Huge, big black crab, this big, crawled up next to my foot last night. I was on my veranda listening and reading and writing, and the sound of these palms moving, the roosters making noise in the back, trying to build my home, brick, block by block, And I haven't even gotten to that part yet. It's going to be a long journey. Hopefully not too long on the house, because I really want to live in something that I'm building before I go. God knows when that'll be, but before I go, my dream is to live on my land here in Jamaica. You know, within that picture that I'm creating for myself. That beautiful watercolor or oil painting. And I want to learn how to paint. But I want to see myself in this beautiful picture that I am creating here in Jamaica. So the aesthetics had to be right for me. The people in the picture had to look like me. I want to see more brown, more bronze, more black, more butterscotch, more toffee, caramel, vanilla, brown, bronzy, yellow toned, red toned, two-toned, whatever. I needed to see more of us in the picture. So that's another reason I came to Jamaica. And yeah, I didn't know what I was coming to. And, you know, the difference in cultures and traditions and values and norms, language. I had no idea. I just knew that it was pretty here. There are black people here, African people here. I knew that I could afford it. I knew that I could make sacrifices if I needed to. I could dial down or simplify my life if I needed to. Yeah. I knew that I would have to deal with the consequences of moving here permanently, deal with the consequences of applying for permanent residency, pay the fees. I had to deal with the land. When I purchased the land, I knew that I had to have a land surveyor. I knew that I had to have an attorney. I knew that I had to have enough money to invest in the land, you know? I knew what I was getting into to a degree, but there are things that I did not know, that I was not planning for, that I am dealing with now and facing with pride, without fear, and with hopefully the support and the friendship of all of you. I really appreciate you all. And there's no way that I could have any kinds of interactions like this without you. You know, things that happen for me in my life happen because of others like you. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for going live with me. Thank you for sitting with me and listening. I'm doing well. I'm doing very, very well. But I spend a lot of time cocooning also, being very introspective and taking all of the time that I need to get in touch with me before I come out here and misbehave or, you know, light somebody up. Yeah. Yeah. So regulating that nervous system is really important, and it means that you have to perfect and understand and practice how to move away from the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, and activate the parasympathetic nervous system where you can rest, digest, conversate, learn to understand, and, you know, come to a solution. Clari-T Media is about human stories and grassroots solutions. Grassroots means the people have to be involved. All of the people must be involved. Okay? Together. And Facebook is, or Meta is, a great way to do that when you don't have people around you that want to be involved with you or that you can be involved with. But there are levels to relationships. You know, you got digital relationships, you got personal relationships, you've got work relationships. So have at them. Get involved in all of them. Make sure they're all good, though. Work on them and know that they all require work. Excuse me. Consistency. Be intentional with your practices that signal safety to the brain. Be safe. Stop creating so much fear for yourself. Stop setting yourself up for failure. Like, think about what you're doing before you do it. Think about what you're saying before you say it. You know, get to that center core of who you are, the best of who you are as well. Get to the best of who you are. So the fastest way to do that is by getting more oxygen to the brain, by breathing, by doing breath work techniques for immediate relief. Just slow, controlled, sorry. My tripod fell. So do slow and intentional breathing. Okay, you want to get into it. Figure it out. Because it's going to help. Let me get my phone together here so I can read this. And it's something that I practice, but I'm reading because I want to make sure that I'm covering all of this breath work and techniques for immediate relief. Use slow, controlled breathing because it's the most effective way to stimulate the vagus nerve and to reduce your heart rate. So, diaphragmatic breathing, belly breathing, helps. And you can place one hand on your chest and the other hand on your belly and breathe in slowly through the nose, ensuring your belly rises, and exhale. Exhale slowly through the mouth. Okay, breathing through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Okay? All right, so imagine that motion, holding your chest. Let me stand up and do this. Holding your chest and your belly and breathing in your belly and out of your mouth. Now I'm going to do it a little deeper. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to do it. Slow and controlled. Don't make yourself dizzy. I want to control my heart rate. I want to control my blood pressure. And that in its process will help you clear your mind, clear your thoughts. Okay? Longer exhalations, inhaling through the nose and holding it for 4 seconds and then exhaling slowly for 6 to 8 seconds is another way of intensifying that clarity, making it more intense. It's like a nice long inhale of your favorite herb. The longer the inhale, the more intense, all right? Same thing with breathing in some air for a longer period, for 4 seconds. Look, in the nose for 4 seconds. Ooh, breathing out for 6 to 8 seconds. Oh my gosh, you're going to be dizzy the first time you try it. But the more you practice, the better at it you'll be. The psychological sigh. Take 2 consecutive breaths, normal breaths, through your nose. 1 big, 1 small, followed by a long, slow exhale out of the mouth. That's the psychological sigh. I'll do it again. It's 2 breaths, but the first breath through the nose will be 1 big breath, and then the second breath will be a small breath through the nose. So it'll feel like and then the long exhale should feel like this. Okay? I hope you got that. Psychological, clearing the mind instantly. It's almost like a tingling feeling you'll get here. But that should help you with calming your nervous systems, you guys. You know, getting them, from that sympathetic fight or flight to a parasympathetic. All right? All right, you guys, I love you so much. I've got to go and eat. Pizza, here I come. I hope that you guys and girls, men and women, I hope that you all take a moment to reflect. Just listen. Sit and listen to me rant about mental health, wellness, behavioral health, wellness, because that's what this was all about, being well. Being well. I even had to reach out to someone that is not well, who did not treat me very well when I was not feeling well. He's now going through hell, which is a consequence of his bad behavior that caught up to him. You know, he didn't exhibit bad behavior with only me. He went around the town and did it, and he is now paying for it publicly. I had to reach out to him by calling him. I knew he would answer because, anyway, he answered. And instead of me berating him the way he berated me because I wouldn't go out with him, the way he belittled me, I did not belittle, I did not berate, I did not disrespect, I was not rude. But I told him about himself. And I said, what goes around comes around. It's how the world works. It's how God works. When we activate, but when we activate the evil, the wicked, the devilish, that's what we're going to get. Activate it, honey. It'll cut up. It will cut up. Activate that kindness, that love, that tenderness. It will be what it will be as well. We have choices. Make good choices, people. Please make good choices intentionally and show it off when you're making good choices. Be an example for others. Be an example for others. Make good choices. Please make better choices. If you're not making good choices, if you make good choices sometimes, make better choices more often. Apologize if you need to. Apologize if you need to. I can think of some grown-ass women. Oh, you thought I would not address? Oh. Accountability. Hashtag accountability. How are we treating others? Mind your business. Oh, you thought I wasn't gonna address? Oh, I'm a Virgo. I'm a Virgo. I am not afraid to speak my mind and tell the truth because I can back it up. I can show the receipts. I can, I can be responsible for my behavior. I don't have to be mean or nasty, condescending, two-faced, nasty, just nasty mean. I'm not going to choose that. Never, never, never. No, never, never, never. You're never going to get it. No, you're never going to get it. 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 Woo, woo, woo. But I have been known to handle some things when I needed to. When once upon a time I was being threatened in public by adult women bullies. Let me tell you the story before I go, really quickly. The adult woman bully, Stephanie Chavez of the Bay Area. She followed me around to all of the parties, all of the major parties, because I would go to parties alone. And she knew I was traveling solo. So she would catch me in a party when there were men around me trying to talk to me, And she walks up to me. She would push me out of the way, literally, physically push me around in public. I'm an adult. She's an adult. She would push me. She put her hands on me several times, and at first, I didn't know how to take it. I didn't know how to take it because there was no way that this woman could be serious about it. There was no way in the world that she could be seriously assaulting me. Oh, it was true. And she continued it every time she saw me. She put her hands on me every time she saw me. So, what did I do? I stopped going to the parties so much. I avoided the conflict. I changed my environment. I tried to get my mind right. I tried to think about whether or not I was setting myself up for it and how I was, how I was getting myself involved with the wrong crowd, maybe going to the wrong party or something, So I had to really reflect and think about what I was doing wrong. I wasn't doing anything wrong, but being myself. I was not being rude, disrespectful. I was not putting my hands on her. I was not speaking to her. I didn't even know the woman. I met her at a swim party, where I wore a bikini. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's what it was. When I met her at that pool party, and I had on my bikini. Way back then, so I was even cuter. And ever since that pool party meeting, she assaulted me in public at parties. Stephanie Chavez. with a Chavez. So the brothers used to love this Latina. Boricua, Boricua. They loved this Latina so much that she could go to a party full of black folks, black women, and disrespect a black woman. But she only chose one black woman to disrespect in that party, and it just happened to be me. Little old me, little 5'3" petite me. And she thought that she could just continue it without any repercussions, without any problems whatsoever. She was the most popular girl. All the brothers wanted her. And she was bigger than me, you know. And she, you know, she'd get a little alcohol in her system, of course, and you know, and she'd look for me in a party. Go figure. I was at the W Hotel in San Francisco, downtown San Francisco. 4th Street, for those of you who know. Classy, classy. I'm from San Francisco. I'm classy. Honey, I don't have no time to fight. But I had to defend myself on this particular night. It was the day that my mom announced that she was in stage 4 cancer, fighting for her life. And I decided not to go to the party, but then at the last minute decided I would. I would drive an hour and a half to San Francisco from my home just to chill out for even an hour with my friends. I decided to do that, and that was my mistake. But not really, not really, not really. I don't regret what happened, but something happened that I did not expect. So I get there to the party. I see my friends. We're all hugging up on each other. I didn't get there until like midnight, so I had to call my friend Sharon, and I said, meet me at the garage. Meet me at the garage because I'm parking just a few feet away. But it was so late. It was like almost midnight. And I wanted to be there. Maybe it was New Year's Eve. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyway, so I get there. He meets me. We walk in. And Sharon just happened to be one of the guys that she was really interested in. So Sharon and I are talking about photography. And as a lot of you guys know, I'm a photographer and love photography. That's one thing Sharon and I had in common. We were just friends. So we're talking in the lobby. Beautiful man. Big, tall, beautiful brown Sharon. He had his dreadlocks at the time. And Sharon's leaning up against the wall. I'm facing Sharon, facing the wall, my back to the people passing in the lobby. So a lot of people in the lobby for this party. It was a very popular party. Mark Jones. Anyway, so I'm talking, and then out of nowhere, here comes this woman. She steps between my friend and I with her back to me. She just steps in front of me like this. Literally this close to my face. And I step back and I say, excuse me, you know, excuse me. Excuse me. And she turns around and she puts her hand in my face. And she just says something like, whatever. But puts her hand up in my face like that. So I slap her hand out of my face. Yeah, I made a mistake and slapped her hand out of my face, but she pushed me first. And she pushed me out of the way before she, let me see, when did she push me? She pushed me before she stepped in. So she pushed me over, stepped in, and I pushed her back. Oh no, I said something first, and then I pushed her hand out of my face. That's how it went. Sharon's watching all of it. Go find Sharon online. Ask him how it went down. Anyway, he's watching the whole thing. So, I had been dealing with several other mean girls. Yeah, I had, yeah, Peralta, PC, Peralta College's foundation, executive director, nasty, mean girl. I'm calling, not names, but I'll call titles. And OACC has a big problem. A big problem. The biggest mouth almighty problem that just gets in the way of the progress of so many businesses. It's pitiful. Anyway, so people like that, you know, at this party. And here comes another mouth, Stephanie. She pulls in, you know, she pushes me. I didn't put my hands on her at first, you know, till she came for me. She put her hand in my face. I was feeling threatened. People witnessed this. And then she grabbed my blouse, grabbed me by my blouse, and proceeded to manhandle me. Another consequence I had to deal with. I put myself in that position, okay? Instead of walking away at that very moment, instead of, you know, just like gathering my senses like, oh my God, she just pushed me. What should I do? Like walk away and all of that. Go and get security, blah, blah, blah. I was not in my, I couldn't think clearly. I was being attacked. It was fight or flight. My response then, you know, while being held by this woman, she's holding my blouse. She's trying to rip it off of me. This was, God, what year was this? This was 2016, 2015, 2015, 16, and like 2017. She was always somewhere publicly in a social environment. I was going to the wrong parties with the wrong people. You know, I figured that part out. But this one woman in all of these crowds with all these adult people in 2016, 17, 2018, she was still behaving like this. So there are women still behaving like this in 2026, and I'm hearing about you. Oof. I say call them out. I'm being nice by just calling titles. But I say call those mothers out. Call them out. Expose them. Put them on blast. Put them on blast. Screenshot. Put them on blast. That's what social media is all about. We're going to frame our society. We're going to create the society that we want. We are going to make the rules. Okay? Not some bullies. We're not going to be tormented anymore. Right? It's time for us, those of us who like harmony, justice, and love, time for us to stand up. Put people who are misbehaving on blast. If you don't want to be put on blast, you better behave when you're in my life. Honey, I will put you on blast. I will let you know. I will shut you down. Ask somebody who knows me. Yes, ask somebody who knows me. So, Stephanie got put on blast during the fight. I just happened to be at the gym all of the time. You know, I just happened to be in the gym all of the time, literally in a boxing gym, right? Boxing. Okay? I have a mean combination, but I used to do it just for exercise, right? Oh, man. So the woman's pushing me around, pulling me, trying to rip my blouse off. She drags me damn near 10 feet by my blouse in the party, in a public space. as an adult, 2015, 2016. And this is just a story about how to regulate and how to behave yourself and how not to respond if you are not prepared for the consequences. I was ready. I was ready. She dragged me all around that lobby in front of people, humiliating me. I'm so little. The woman's about 5'8", 5'9". She was at least 190 pounds. You know, I'm 5'3". I'm about 130 pounds at the time, 125 pounds maybe. She dragged me all over that lobby, disrespecting me, until some men, black men, who were with their girlfriends, and the girlfriends was like, oh no, sister, oh no, I would never let her do that to me. So they went and got their men to get this one Latina off of me, dragging me around the room because she was jealous of me, because she wanted to talk to the man that I was talking to. So the men grabbed her, pinned her up against the wall. She broke free from them to come for me. So this time, oh my God, I'm so scared. I was so scared. She charged me with a force I could see in her eyes. She ran towards me with an anger and knowing that she had gotten the attention of the brothers. Okay, for those of you who have missed this story, please watch this back. This is a true story about what happens. What happens when people are out of control, when their behavior is out of control, and truly her mental capacity was, so if you're going to indulge in alcohol or marijuana or anything, please place yourself in a safe position, in a safe environment, in a place where you know that you can recover carefully and wholly. I mean, you're not going to hurt others. You're not going to affect anybody else. I just did not want to do it, but I had to put the combination. Well, I didn't put the combination on her, but I kind of did like a wind up. And I had to physically react to this woman running towards me in anger. She was coming towards me with total rage. I was so afraid that I just cocked back and I got my best fist ready and I did a little something with my knuckle right here on the end. And I just dug into that face when she connected, or when she called herself connecting. I connected first, and she went all the way back to that wall that she came from. And that's when, the crowd called security. They got security over there, and security saw me pull back. I had dropped my purse. I was holding my handheld clutch, one of my mom's antique clutch bags. And I was looking for my bag. I was like, my bag, my antique bag. And I was looking at her like, what the hell is wrong with you? And why'd you do that? And I'm looking around at everybody like, did you guys see that? I didn't start it. And this white couple walked up to me and said, a white woman and man, and the woman said to me, are you okay? She handed me my purse, and she said, we saw everything. If you need a witness, we're here for you. We saw everything. We saw how she dragged you around by your blouse and everything. Would you like a drink? Come on, let's go downstairs to the bar downstairs. Come with us. So, this is the kind of person I am. These are the kinds of people that I attract. People who want to protect and love on me. Okay? But I also attract monsters too. Pathological monsters. The ones who prey on people. The kind of people that prey on good, small, happy, innocent looking. Keep preying on people, all right? You monsters. Keep preying on people. Keep misbehaving. You're going to find out. You're going to F-A-F-O. That's what's going to happen. You're going to mess around and find out. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. She ended up having a black eye. I ended up filing a restraining order against her because at the time I was a broadcaster and she was clearly stalking me. Yeah, and the city and county of San Francisco filed a restraining order on my behalf. I didn't even have to do it, okay? People stood up for me. People defended me. And I defended myself. But I would never want to experience anything like that again. So, time and place, positioning yourself in life is really important. Preparing yourself for life is really important, okay? And how you respond is really important. Really important. Really important. I don't go around hitting people. You know, so I found a way to avoid that. Yeah. All right, gonna go eat now. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much for being on. Lamont, Akrita, Dion, Roy, and the rest of the folks here who joined me. P, Daniel, all right, Dan, thank you so much for joining me. I've been good. I've been very, very good. My weight is normal. My heart rate is at a good, nice, steady pace. I'm in Jamaica, living in Jamaica, near 7 Mile Beach, near the cliffs. Go and watch some of my videos, you know, where you can see me hanging out and eating food and riding my bike and enjoying myself and being very intentional about regulating my nervous system and making sure that I'm happy. Accepting who I am, all of the gray and silver hair that I have, this new body of mine and how beautiful it is at 60 years old. At 60 years old, you know, but it's really important for me to continue to work on my health, my spiritual health, my physical health, you know, because there are some things that I do that I shouldn't do, like snack, and sometimes date the wrong man. Yes, I can admit that. I got to take care of myself, better care of myself. But does that mean, ladies and gentlemen, does that mean not dating, not having intimate relationships? And how do you do that? How do you do that and keep yourself healthy and safe? I've always been one for healthy love and romance. Yeah, some of you on this stream know. I used to date Roy way back. Roy, I'm not going to give it away, but I loved me some Roy because Roy was very kind and gentle with me. But it was not everything that I needed. It was not everything that I needed at the time. I was going in a different direction. I was much younger. We were younger. Yeah, we met on the job. Well, not at the same job. He worked near me. Perfect gentleman. Roy, thank you so much for your friendship, forever and ever. Thank you, Dan Rosenheim, for your friendship. Oh my gosh. We weren't never, Dan and I were never intimate. We had a professional relationship, but it was a kind, loving, nurturing, respectful relationship in a newsroom, in a rough place to be. So, thank you, Dan. Thank you to everyone. Thank you, Trisha, my cousin. I love you. Family. Different kind of relationship, but lovely, intimate and lovely. So, on that note, love your families, your friends and family. Take good care, make great choices, and be in touch with me here. Come visit me here in Jamaica, all right? Let's hang out. Let's hang out. Enjoy ourselves a little bit, you know? All right, see you guys later.